internuclear distance between two covalently bonded atoms. And we said atomic radius decrease across the period due to increasing nuclear charge or due to increasing number of protons and electrons. But we said atomic radius increase down the group due to increasing electronic shells. We have a lot to learn. Then ionization energy is the minimum amount of energy required for the complete removal. So when you hear the energy required for the complete removal of the most loosely bound electron from the valence shell of an atom, then we call that ionization energy. And I told you that there's what we call first ionization energy. That is the energy needed to remove the first electron. Second ionization energy, you need to remove the second electron. As you continue to remove those electrons one by one, there's what we call effective nuclear charge, and that continues to increase the more. And you will be needing more energy to remove those electrons. And we now say, what is the trend of ionization energy? It's increased across the period due to increasing effective nuclear charge, and it's decreased down the group due to increasing screening effects. Is that taken? So now, we want to now look at electron affinity. Electron affinity is simply defined as the energy that accompanies or the energy that is released when electron is added to a neutral atom in its gaseous state. So if you hear that energy required, that is ionization energy. But if you hear that energy released or energy that accompanies a reaction, that is called electron affinity. And electron affinity, let's say I'm adding electron to an atom, a neutral atom, in its gaseous state. When I'm adding electron to this atom, then we have X minus. Then the energy I release, in that case, that energy is called electron affinity. So let me just do it like delta H is equal to minus EA. That is the energy given out, or the energy released, or the energy that accompanies. So those are the statements you should note. The difference between electron affinity and ionization potential is that you need energy to remove electron from a gaseous atom. So when you remove electron from this guy, then it forms X positive, and one electron is removed. So the energy involved in this case is called ionization energy. For our level, even though there are differences, for our level, you should just know that energy released, which is more like an exothermic process, is electron affinity, while ionization energy is more like an endothermic process. That is not 100% true, but for your level, take it. So now, when you talk about ionization energy and electron affinity also increase across the period. So electron affinity increase across period. And the reason being that, just know that the easier it is to lose electron, the easier it is to gain electron. The more the energy released. So the easier it is to gain electron, the more the energy released. So, and as you move from left to right across the period, those atoms will keep gaining electrons. And when they gain electrons, more energy will be released, which means that fluorine is the one that is last at that level. But don't forget something, that if they ask you between fluorine and chlorine, which one has more electron affinity? It is actually chlorine, for the sake of it. Is that taken? Is it chlorine or fluorine? It is chlorine. That's just an exception. So chlorine has more electron affinity. than fluorine. The reason is due to the small size of fluorine. The small size of fluorine caused it. So another thing you need to know is that fluorine is more electronegative, but we are going to talk about electronegativity soon. But due to the small size of fluorine, it has more less electron affinity than fluorine. And let me go back to ionization energy. You need to note something. We said ionization energy increased from left to right across the period. So we have lithium, we have beryllium, Abi, we have boron, we have carbon, we have nitrogen, we have oxygen, we have fluorine. Now, let me show you something. This guy is 3, 2,1. If you write the configuration, it will be like 1s2, 2s1, Abi. Now, between these two guys, normally if they ask you, normally ionization energy is supposed to increase this way, Abi. But there are exceptions too. Mommy Esther, Happy New Year, ma. Now look at this. Beryllium is 4, Abi, and that is 2,2. That is 1s2, 2s2. So please just quickly listen to this. This is 5. That's 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. Look at this guy and look at this guy. From what I've explained on those factors, which one do you think the electron will be easy to remove? Is it beryllium or boron? Boron, because of that distance. But we said the energy increases across the period, which means that energy of this should be more than this. Energy of this should be more than this. But there's an exception here. Because the reason for the exception is that this will be this. This single electron is not stable. These ones are paired up. So when you need to know something about stability, when an orbital is fully filled, let me just put it this way. Orbital is fully filled. It is more stable than when an orbital is partially filled. And that is also more stable than when an orbital is incompletely filled. So if you look at what we have here, when you see configurations like this one will require great energy before you can remove any electron from here. This one too will require great energy, but not as much as this. But this one, is you can easily remove electron because of all the repulsions that is taking place here. So now if you look at this trend now, if I had to between this guy and this guy, let me just label them A and B and say which one will be more stable. A will be more stable. And the stabler, the more stable, so the more stable it is, the difficult it becomes to remove electron. So same thing that happen between nitrogen and oxygen too. Nitrogen is 7, Abi, 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. And you will notice something here. But when you get to oxygen is 8, 1s2, 2p. So which one is more stable here now? Nitrogen is more stable. So which one do you think you require more energy to remove the electron? Nitrogen. All because of stability. So you need to know, even though ionization energy increase across this period, nitrogen has more ionization energy than oxygen. So if you go and look at graphs in your above view, you will see that ionization energy will be increasing, then it will get to a stage, it will drop a bit, then it will be increasing again, it will drop a bit, it will be increasing, then drop a bit. If you go and look at the graph, to those of you that have done assignments that I gave you and you have read, so you will see it. So note something here, that nitrogen has more ionization energy than oxygen, beryllium has more ionization energy than boron, all because of their stability. But that does not change the fact that ionization energy increase across the period. So electron affinity also increase across the period and decrease down the group. And I already told you, the easier it is to add electrons, the more the energy released. So the next one, electronegativity. What is electronegativity? Electronegativity is the ability of an atom to pull electron towards itself. So the ability of an atom to pull electron towards itself, or the ability to gain an electron. That is what we call electronegativity. So without wasting time, as you move from left to right, electronegativity increases and also decreases down the group. That is not far-fetched. Let me just start with these guys. This is 2,1, Abi. This is 2,2. This is 2,3. This is 2,4. This is 2,5. This is 2,6. And this is 2,7. If you have learned chemical bonding before in secondary school, you would have noticed something, that 2,7 means you will need one electron, Abi. So out of all of this one, which one would be ready to gain electron? Fluorine, Abi, because all you just need is one electron. So that ability to gain electron or to pull electron towards yourself is what we call electronegativity. So this one would prefer to lose this electron than gaining 7. I don't want to say too much about all of those things. So electronegativity also increase across the period and what? Decrease down the group. Is that taken? Then electropositivity. Electropositivity is just like opposite of electronegativity. It is also talking about the tendency of an atom to lose electron. And you already know, potassium will lose electron readily more than sodium because of screening effects and all. So electropositivity is the tendency of an atom to lose electron, to form a positive ion. It decreases across the period. It decreases across the period and increases down the group. So that's about electropositivity. Then last one, electrical and thermal conductivity. That is the ability to conduct heat and electricity from the name. So electrical and thermal conductivity. Those of you that were around last year, you should have all these notes. So you should just be using it for revision. So electrical and thermal conductivity is talking about ability of an atom to gain heat or electricity. So ability to conduct heat and electricity. That's what we mean by electrical and thermal conductivity. And you already know you have metals in group 1 and 2. So as you move from left to right, you start having non-metals. So metals will conduct more than non-metals. So which means that as you move from left to right across the period, electrical and thermal conductivity decreases. So it decreases across the period and it increases down the group. Then last one, we have the transition elements. There are a lot of things you have to learn, that if I want to take time, really, because ability of an atom to lose electron, when we now get to oxidation and reduction, you will apply them. Because they can be asking that which of the following has the most reducing ability, and you don't really understand ability to gain electron, ability to lose electron, oxidation and reduction. Oxidation, we usually define it as loss of electron, abi? So which means that potassium will easily undergo oxidation compared to fluorine. But that potassium will be a reducing agent, a strong reducing agent. Fluorine will be a strong oxidizing agent because it has the ability to easily gain electron and undergo reduction. All these things are growths. So when you get to a level, it will become so clear to you. But work on all of these parts first, and let's move on from there. So I will be referring you back to this part as we move on with subsequent classes. So the elements you have in the d orbital are called transition elements. Transition elements. Then we have the inner transition elements, which are your lanthanide and actinide. These transition elements, they are so called because they take transition between group 2 and group 3. And they have their electrons are usually found in the d orbitals, and all of those things you need to know. So, but we'll still talk more about transition elements when you get to metals and non-metals. So, but I don't want to waste more time on that. So that's all on periodicity. So is there any question on periodicity, matter, and atomic structure? Do you have any question on periodicity from your past questions or from something you read that is confusing you and not medically periodicity? So do you have any question on periodicity? Maybe you saw a question and the question is confusing you. Periodicity, atomic structure, and matter. Let me know. So, your assignments. Assignments before Saturday. So from your past question or remix or which one? We are going to solve all the questions on matter, atomic structure, periodicity. So you solve questions on matter, atomic structure, and periodicity. Then for biology students, after physics, I'll give you assignments. For biology students, you solve questions on genetics, sex determination and sex linkage, genetics, sex determination and sex linkage, and what else? Chromosomal theory of inheritance, variation. All these are things I've taught you. Variation and evolution. So before Saturday, you must finish all of these things. They are the topics that we have taught. A substance. When it's supplied continuously to substance, if the temperature rises at first, there remains constant for a while, and later rises again. Why is the temperature? Now, there's a question that you have 3 states of matters: solid, liquid, and gas. Now, I told you something when I taught you matter. When you start eating solids and the solid wants to start melting, please listen. The moment solid will go from solid to liquid, abi? That moment it wants to start melting, the temperature will first be rising. Then the moment it wants to start melting, temperature will remain constant. Then when everything has melted, temperature will start rising again. The temperature is kept constant at that point because the energy being absorbed is used to break the molecules apart. In solid now, there are bonds that hold them together. So you have ice, hydrogen bond, all of those things that hold them together. Then, but the bond broken is not the interatomic bonding. They are just the forces that hold all of those molecules together. So the temperature remains constant because every heat absorbed at that point in time is being used to break the molecules apart, and that's why they are melting. Do you get that? That's why the temperature remains constant. To the person that asks such question. So solve all of these questions before Saturday, because on Saturday you are going to have 3 hours to 4 hours of biology, which is adaptation, succession, and I will soon resume. So I want us to cover all the parts, all my own parts first. However, we'll do your mock, I'll let you know. Law of chemical. Where is Olamide? Where is she? Where is she? Okay, she was the one they were showing me the other time. Let me to call her. I do not know. Law of chemical combination. Please remind me when you treat stoichiometry, so I can come down to explain and do calculations. We have, please. What question? 43. From the above, which of them is likely to be paramagnetic? The ones with unpaired electrons are said to be paramagnetic. And if you look at what you have, hydrogen has unpaired electron. Nitrogen has unpaired electron here. Oxygen has unpaired electron. So hydrogen, nitrogen, and oxygen are your answers. They are the ones with unpaired electrons. So, please, let's keep quiet. I have stopped my class and I decided to stop my class early so that you can go for your break. So that by 12:30 you come back for physics. And we have physics. But before you go for your break, please, there is always that moment. Please, I told you on Friday we'll be going for your JAM registration. If you have made your payment to get your form, you fill all the necessary that you have to fill. And if you need advice on any part, aside all the ones I've advised generally, please, you can see me. And some of you have messaged me. Maybe I've not added you to the group. I've added some of you, but I will add the rest of you. I'm sorry. I've been trying to reply everybody, and there are a lot of things involved. So I will still reply you. So don't be angry. I don't know who is messaging me. So don't say I'm biased. I replied this person. And maybe the person that sat beside you have replied that one, and I've not replied you. And you are thinking, and I don't even know the person. But I'm only replying based on how they are coming in and out. So I will still reply you and I will add you to the WhatsApp group. So let me know. And please, there's our tradition. I think last week, or maybe 2 weeks ago, you met with some of our students that came around. So you met with some of our students that came around last week. And what we always do is, I tell you, we introduce our last year students that already admitted to you. Number one is you are free to ask them questions. Please listen. You are free to ask them questions about how they did it. Or you might meet them. Some of you are talking. Keep quiet. You just be making someone to be stressing the voice. So you are free to ask the person question about how they did it. And when you get to 100 level 2, let's say the person is in your department, you can meet with the person to give you orientation and how they had A in all their courses and all of those things. So, and we have one of our students around, and this person that is around is the person that had the overall highest last year. And she's the one with my 100,000. So she had 357 in JAM. I said she. Why are you looking at him? So she had 357 in JAMB, and I could remember her in the class, and she just joined that last year, and I forgotten when she joined, but maybe when she comes I'm going to ask her. So but eventually she had 357, and even on the day of her exam she had issues. A lot of people had issues that day, and when they came back they complained about the issues, their system error and everything that has to do with it. I was scared for them that and she worked out that she wants to score, be the overall highest, but out of all of them, even people that had issues, some people still scored above 300 in the JAMB, but she eventually now was even the overall highest in primaries, and she had 357 in JAMB. Her name is, she's a medical student now in the University of Ibadan, so she got her medicine on merit, and her name is Olalekola. Why are you people looking at this one? Don't worry, you are the one that is next. So help me to welcome Olalekan. Olalekan. Sorry. So her name is Olalekan Olamide. She's currently a medicine and surgery student from the University of Ibadan. So she had last year 300. You know, sometimes when we are pasting our banners outside, mommy, mumbo, my binu. So when we are pasting our banners outside, people that are passing will say, ironi, wàláì, wọ́n kàn fà ọmọ síbẹ̀ ni kò ṣàwọn náà yìí. Ọmọ tó score gan máa dúró bá ìtajọ wa máa gbé banner, wọ́n kàn fojú ẹ̀ síbẹ̀ ní. One day, 2 people were passing, and one of them, they are 2 girls, one of them said, kò ṣe òun ló ní irọ́ ni wọ́n fọ́ọ̀mù rí, wọ́n ní ìdá ọ̀dá wọn àṣà, ṣáwọn náà ni kò máa mọ̀wé, ṣáwọn náà ni kò ní 160 lórí poli. So it's all possible. So she had 357, and a lot of you would have been seeing her face on the books you used to write in class and on the banner outside. And Olamide showed me a lot of pepper in the class that last year, a lot of shege. But I would like her to talk to you one way or the other, and if you have a question to ask her, not for her phone number. So the 100,000 I gave her last year, ó ti ná tán, so má lọ gbà lọ àbó tí ó ṣì wà. So Olamide has the floor. She can just talk to you within like few minutes, then we can go for a break. And if you have a question, you can ask her too.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Alex Olamide. And the morning. Good day, everyone. My name is Olale Olamide. So I wrote JAMB twice. Last year and the year before. And my first JAMB was 293. Second was 357. And I resumed primaries January 16, 2025. So I did not start early, like so technique. Yeah, sorry. Hey, technique. Oh, sorry. The English is not coming. So I paid 3 months of the lesson fee, just 3 months, and then the many days I entered the class with her. So when I came to primaries, I actually came to primaries. You know, how did I even go to know about primaries? I wrote WAEG. So let me tell you this story. Do you know Kosola?
In nursing.
Yes, we wrote WAEG together in Reliance.
Reliance.
Yes. Oh. So That time I was still then. So she used to tell me about primary. She was like, she had
This
three.
story is for me, so don't worry.
Sorry.
There was a girl before she came. She should be in 400 level now, nursing UI. She was our student. Then that year she already had her O level. Then she wrote JAMB and she had this issue, and her mom brought her mom works in poly, and her mom brought her that she said she's not writing JAMB again, that she has failed this and that, and I encouraged her that she's going to write it. When I checked the O level, I registered her for WAEC again and all of those things. But when she wrote, during, I think it was when she was writing WAEC that they met in the school I registered them to. And she gained admission that same year. She's going to 400 level now in nursing. So that's what she's just telling me, that that's how she knew about Primax. I don't know how they talked or how they related, but please just keep quiet. You know, she's a gentle. So please, let's just hear her talk.
So she told me she had three, I think 330 something or 320 something.
I can't remember.
Then she was like, in Primax hostel, like tutorial that has hostel, that what is the meaning of that? But I did not ask, no, I did not know anything about tutorial at that time. I didn't even know about jam. So when she told me that, she was like, and that time it was one auntie that used to pick them after they are done with the exam. I was like, I'm alone here. Like they'll pick them, all of them enter boards, they will now go to some good side like that. So every time I see them, I'm like, and it's tutorial that people are going. And then when I wrote my first jam that time, I started preparing late. I was in SS2 then. So I didn't know I was going to write jam. So like a month before jam, I was like, when I write jam, something like that. Then and I just, you know, when you just read textbook like novel. That time I read novels a lot. So I just read the textbook like novel. You know when you read novel, you know that yes, I did cute Shade. So when they ask me a question, I know the answer without actually knowing how to solve it. Like I know 2 plus 2 is 4, but I don't know how 2 plus 2 is 4. But you know, I read it like, you know, I read the whole textbook, so I had 293 then. And then I tried UI pursuit and I had money, you know, I had 72. So I missed the cutoff by like I think 4 or 5 months or 6 months then. So I was like, that time I cried though. I cried a lot. I was like, you know, my mates now they had, although my mates are like my classmates, they had 200, 198, but they are in school. I want to, you know, feel among. I'll be like, I need money to my 3. I was not in school. Like, I would start crying. I would tell my mom that I'm not going to do it again. And please, you don't have suicidal thoughts. So it's not suicidal thoughts are real. Like you say, you want to kill yourself. It's real. I had it. Not once, not twice. So it's not good, but you have it, but you have to just overcome it. So that time, so around December, I was like, you know, you guys reach their own position me like around their stuff late. So around December last, I was like, when will I start again? And I started reading. But I realized that reading at home will not, reading at home will not help me. So I saw Primax. So and I remember that there was a girl that told me about Primax. And I came to Primax. I did not come to Primax to come and learn. No. I was like coming to come and, you know, test these people. Like, what are these people doing there? You know, there's some story that you go that they will just be playing TV, doing, you laugh half, you talk half, you do social media half. Like you be seeing girls chewing gum everywhere. So I was like, that's what I was going to come and see. But then the first class, I was like, well, these people are not playing. And I did my first Primax mock. I had 290. I think 6. That time, that 296 was like a course, so like I felt relaxed then because I was like I passed my jam score then, so I felt relaxed. I was like, I'm already there. Then I had to pay for the second one. I had 288. I was like, you're already going down. Then that time, you know, I came to go and meet with them. And I said, them, what will I show them like some past questions, solve everything. And then I think the last mock I did in Paris was 290 something. I was like, oh, 290, 290, 290. I was like 290. I know that I cried in front of so I told everybody that Alamde was crying because of that. But you don't understand. Everywhere I go, 290. If I do online jam, I'll be online mock, 290, 290. I was like, isn't it not that they are using this? No, jam mock. I not tell you my score that time. Because after that day, after the day you asked everybody, I did not, I've not checked. So I had 307 that day. So yes, in the mock. So I laughed. So it was that time I was already happy small that yes, tonight is a share. And then I wrote my jam. That day, what happened that day, sef? So my chemistry, I was solving it. Yes, I started with chemistry. Start with the subject you know the best. So I like chemistry. So I was checking chemistry, and then I got to one question. Question was, so they don't slap me. Which metal is used in preserving food? Like is used in packaging food? Should everybody know it now? It's aluminium. I know it's aluminium. Oh, aluminium foil. Even if I don't know it, aluminium foil is used in cake. And then I was not like the evil spirit inside was that that look at copper. Copper is not easily oxidized. I was like, pick copper now, it's not easily oxidized, it's not affected. That's why I had 98 in chemistry. I missed that question. And then in physics, there's one question on photovoltaic cell. They asked me what makes up photovoltaic cell. I don't know about photovoltaic cell. I've never had it in my life. But then, and I use one stupid sense that is not going to work. You know, electrochemical cell. Another name for electrochemical cell is what? Voltaic cell. So I was like, voltaic cell, chemical. And inside the option, there was chemical there. I picked it confidently. And I got to
Photo, you did not see light.
No, I was hopeless. I just then it was only Peter that later told me that it is diode. Please, in case you know, if you see that question, photovoltaic cell is diode, it's for diode. So that's how I had the second one. But in my question, so that I wanted to have high blood pressure because my questions were not complete at all. Like there was one question that was relating me moments to currents. How? There was one for me, I don't even know what to do. We must I did exam that day. It was that day. So when I was coming out with mindset that Otilo, it's failing no, because the even my compression, I don't know, I didn't have any compression question. I had this question that is to fill the gap. That is it. Register. But my register, I had luck. It was for modern biology, directly for modern biology. I was like, I'm accident and down there. But you know that day, you know when you see something from modern biology, you already know that yes, microorganism. And that's how I did my biology. My questions from biology that I missed, I know it that intentionally that I don't know it that day. And I intentionally did not read it because I don't like and see it. Because you have to it's not only Samara.
It's not only Samara. So did we not teach fruits and seed very well?
I was sleeping that day. I will not lie. Because I know that you're going to look at me, I slept on the floor like and I put my I was feeling too sleepy that day. So I saw the question like 5. I didn't know that they did gone, so I did not do that one in biology. I think that's so. That's how my jam went. And about preparing for jam, what this one? I disturbed his life for thank God. Because that time in class, if someone say A, sir, what is A? Why do you write A here? Why must A be here? Ask questions, so you're paying, no. And so you will definitely answer. Don't be shy. If you cannot ask questions, write inside piece of paper. So they will definitely answer you. If you don't understand, nobody here is. You don't know anybody from any. Okay, you might know someone from them. They will not pay anything. If I'm going outside alone, will you know that I've asked questions in class? No, you will not know. So ask questions. Anyway, you ask questions because there was even a time. So that was like they doing mock revision. I was asking questions. So okay, because I was asking a lot of questions because I know that. So that is your brother jamming. So thank you. So whatever you want to do, please ask questions, ask them questions. Whatever them is saying in class, have a jot there. So they might just say, they might ask you. Write that they might not ask you. Write it down. Write that paper. But so them will just, there's something that so them just is going to go low. That's saying something that is, you people go and make it noise. You will not grab it. And that time, I don't used to stand in the front. I stand at the back, so I'll be able to stand up because I used to sleep in class. So you're not the only one battling with sleep issues. Oh, I sleep a lot. And please, about the suicidal thoughts, please, I beg, because I know I had it. Because the day before I checked my result, I was like, with this incomplete, I believe in the 3-story building. I was like, I will jump if my result is not correct. So please, I know what I'm saying. Suicidal thoughts are real. So please, I beg. There's life than jumbo. And about preparation, what did I do there? So I read about bio a lot. That's why I love chemistry. Read about Babio a lot. And this sodium chemistry, anytime sodium is in class and is explaining, please try to visualize what he's saying, and anything they ask you to watch, YouTube videos, everything, watch it, please. And then, although I did not have phone them, so that time I used to look for a friend house. And please, if it's like this, the one of the things stopping you from reading is that you did not have textbook. It's not a good excuse. I did not have textbook when I came to primary, and there's not that I will not carry a baby home. But it's not that I'm stealing, no. I did not steal. I did not steal. I just take from someone without their. You know that I stole it, oh. Yeah. You know that time. I know. Okay, it's gone. You say you now have textbook, and you have someone, your friend that has textbook that is not using it. And you first time become friends, like, how are you? Your textbook. So that's how I prepare. I read about you a lot and solve those questions at the back of Ababio. Like every exercise, there are always questions. They always solve those questions. Please, it will help a lot. And I read modern biology. I did not read explicit. I did not have explicit. I did not have someone I can steal from. So it was modern biology I could steal then. No, it's not steal. I took class. And then my physics, I read today's physics. But this new school physics too is good though. But I did not have it at that moment. But I read today's, not the new today's physics, so that big one that they use rope and tie. There's that one. And I think that's how I prepared for job. And English, it was Mr. Felix. I don't even insult you, but you have to stay in his class. And I did not read any textbook for English because I don't really like English then. And solve remix too, everything from A to Z, solve everything. I solved everything, no. Although it's not once. I solved this like when someone asks you to solve 1 to 20 or when you are with your friend, you solve it. And I think that's everything I did. Any question?
So thank you. So one of the things that can make you to do well, she has said it, is your readiness to learn. I won't say that she was not brilliant when she came to primaries. Her first jam before she came to primaries was 290 something. Some of you came to primaries with 160 something and you are aiming to score 350 something. It's good. When did she join? That's why I wrote it. She joined January. We started class around September. She joined January. I could remember she and Emisi, and they were doing their best. I think both of them scored above 300. So there was a day, that day she was talking. She was here. It was after mock. I think it was on question on daily presence. If you remember, Olamide was saying, this is the answer. I said, this is the answer. Until we searched all the textbook that was using every textbook to confirm, oh yeah, look at this. Oh yeah, look at this. Before we calm down. I had to take my time to explain that this is the answer. So she will always ask you until she is convinced that that's the answer. That's when she will keep quiet. So, and she's not disruptive. It's not like she used to disturb the class or use her questions to, like some questions that people are asking. You ask relevant questions that has to do with your exam. Read about you very well. Most of your questions in chemistry used to come word for word. You would have seen them in Ababio. If you go and check, it is word for word, especially chemistry. And that's the only way. She missed one question now, she had 98. When I had 98 too, it was just one question I missed. And that one question I missed was in Ababio. It was just about tricarboxylic acid. That which of them is tricarboxylic acid. But then I don't always pay attention because I always feel, who will ask this one? Who will ask this one? But when I go to exam one, they ask me, which of the following is a tricarboxylic acid? And I went to choose oxalic acid because it looks oxalic. So, but citric acid was the answer, and I had 98. So, Ababio can be somehow. But the most important thing is that your readiness to learn. I've had a lot of you complain, I don't have textbook. One of you that your uncle called me that said there's no textbook, no money, that we should give you phone. Since we are not allowing everybody to use phone, you can't use phone. And phone is an excuse. Most people that scored above 300 and something, go and ask them if they ever had phone. They never had phone. Olamide did not have phone then. She did not even have money to buy the books. She might have money, but she knows how to steal books. She did not have money.
I did not steal.
You did not steal.
Took it.
You took someone's textbook.
They did not know.
They did not know.
But they will know.
Because they did not know it's stealing. Because they now know it's restitution. That one is called restitution. So, but they are supposed to know. So don't steal. Don't go and take. So, you know, there are a lot of you. There are some students that immediately they resume and their parents resume. I'll give them list of books that will be worth almost 40-something thousand. And those parents will pay immediately and they will buy all of those books. Go and look for these students. They are busy working up and down. They are not even reading the books. Whereas some multi-parents of the lówó tọ́jọ́ wà lóṣẹ̀ tó gbọ́n àjọ àbábí ẹ̀ ṣó lò mo fẹ́ sáré lò di period yìí wọ́n á ya ó máa lò. So you can't, because of poverty, say that that's why you failed. You still have to be wise, and you can't be. I used to tell those of you that used to fight your parents, and they bought 4 they can buy 100 of textbooks for a child and the child will still fail. And you that you can't even afford the textbook, you will still do very well. So you just have to look for ways to balance your life and all of those things. Then the last part, suicide. Everybody has had that thought one way or the other. And I won't lie, I had it too at a point. I had it especially recently, because what happened had never really happened to me before. And I had it. So, but thank God for grace. So please, nobody is above that thought. Nobody is above depression. But for your own, I've already told you everything about growth comes with a whole lot of challenges. She did it twice. Imagine that 357. Imagine she didn't score 357. Might not have gotten that medicine. She's one of the persons that was expecting to be the overall highest in post-UTME. And I think she has 75. And what did Pepe have in JAM? I think Pepe had 320. He had 320 in JAM. And he had 88 in post-UTME. A time. It's like the second highest in overall UI post-UTME. He had 89. So you can see that she quickly took her strength very well at this JAM. So every point, just make sure that this JAM is your option now. Give it everything. Then the next exam, give it everything. You don't know which one will save you. So you cannot say, well, I've already done so well. If she had scored 70, and her parents, it would have been better that they just lock her up. And no. So please, and you too, control your. One thing about growth in life is you already know. You have been with us for a long time. It comes with different challenges. You wrote it twice. How about someone that wrote it 8 times? And I told you just last week now that someone in UK is already talking to the person that wrote it 8 times. If not because the person said he's married already and he already has children and all, then I might have thought that Ọlọ́run máa ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọkọ UK. And your husband is also a nursing student. And you never can tell. It might even be through that person, not like you look well. Immediately tó náà parí university, ó ti lọ abroad, wọ́n ti jọ ṣiṣẹ́ ní UK, and everything goes okay for them. But because of you wrote JAM twice, 3 times, you now went to kill yourself. There was a girl in Lagos like that was 70 something and killed herself. These days now, what's here? Not here more. So there are some things I used to tell you when you are facing challenges. Don't cry. Challenges are part of life. Don't cry. And you, please, there are a lot of challenges inside UI, and you are just starting. There are a lot of challenges. When I had that, when I was in that 100 level now, when they said physics was tough, physics practical, no, I was telling you which day. When I saw my result, the first semester physics practical, I had 90 something over 100. The second one, this semester, I still had 90 something. And I had to ask the student that the same physics practical, a lot of knowledge, and it's really the GP of so many people. You are the one that should be learning. Just when people tell you that this thing is not possible, go and try to listen to people that did it. And so you can have 100 of person tell you that it's not possible, but there is always one person that actually did it. And those ones that couldn't survive it will keep telling you that it's not possible. They will discourage you. But you have to encourage yourself. You have to be strong that you can do it and nothing will change it. And don't, the moment you are dead like this, that's all. Christ in you, the hope of glory. If you don't need hope, there will be no Christ. So you have hope in everything you do. That's the thing. And you have to keep doing your best. It's not easy, but please take your stand. If you fail, you still have years to try again. I left secondary school 2004. I gained admission 2011. How many years is that? And after I left OAU in 2015, I still gained admission to study medicine in UI. Shey 2020 and 2020. So 2024 and 2025.
25.
So you can imagine since 2004, do you know the years have been coming? So sometimes when you see us too, even when we are teaching chemistry and we are claiming that oh it's very simple, tó bá mọ nǹkan tó ju tiwa náà ti rí. But there's a stage that it will all become simple, and that's why sometimes come to your front to help you out so that you don't face those challenges we face. But it does not mean that your own challenges are not ahead. Your challenges are also ahead. Just be ready to face it. Life is not bed of roses. It will not just give you what you want like that, but you have to go for it by all means. And God will bless you. Olamide, I know you will make us proud. I know when you are resuming. You have resumed already now. You have started online classes. But you are not attending. Tell Professor Awena.
It's not like that. It was like to cook jollof rice.
He's asking.
No.
He's telling you to enjoy yourself. And one thing I love about those professors is that they will take their time. If we explain measurements for you for like 3 weeks, enjoy it. So I'm coming. So we have so a round of applause for Olamide.